Good morning, everyone. We are glad to welcome you to our today's webinar about Spanish Golden Visa program and convenient tools of currency transfer. During today's webinar, we will see the updates on the Spanish Golden Visa program. I would like to present myself. My name is Olga Rockman. I am an immigration specialist from Atlanta. I will be exposing today all the details about the Golden Visa. I will explain you the changes upcoming that we are waiting to happen with the program. And then we'll give the step to my colleague Lewis Josephs that we have today with us, who is the senior currency dealer. And he will expose you all the details about the efficient currency transfer tools to use them internationally. So here we can see the topics we'll go through today. So let's start with the Golden Visa requirements, the benefits, and the application process. So what are the benefits of the Golden Visa? The Golden Visa program is for now the most popular, one of the most popular programs here, because of the benefits it gives to this to its applicants, which are the fast-track residency application. In comparison with the general order residence permit, we can get the application resolved only within 20 working days since the date of submission. And if we receive no response, we will have the automatic response and the automatic approval if this 20 working days passed. There is no automatic tax residence in Spain. You are not obliged to reside for 183 days, which is the general rule for Spain to consider you as the Spanish tax resident. So you may consider your travels to Spain to avoid to obtain the Spanish tax residency if you don't want to. Another benefit is that this valid residence permit or visa will allow you to move freely within the Schengen area, of course, respecting the tourism limitations, which are 90 days within 180 days for all other countries, which is not Spain. In Spain, of course, you may stay without any limitations, being the resident if you want to. Together with that, you may apply with your family members simultaneously, or after you received your residence permit yourself, you may choose. Who are considered the family members. The family members are the spouses, the minor child, the legal age children as well, who are dependent on the parents, and the parents who are the pensioners and also are dependent on the main applicant. This residence permit also includes automatically the work permit. So if in some point you would need to work in Spain by the contract or to establish your own business, you will be allowed to do so, or telework, any work activity will be allowed to you, or no work activity obligation if you don't need to. The validity of this residence permit is of 3 years and can be renewed each 5 years as the subsequent renewals when you maintain your investment. What are the what are the ways of investment to be eligible to apply for Golden Visa? The Spanish public debt investment of 2 million, it is required to maintain this investment during 5 years. Shares an active Spanish company of 1 million. Investment funds in Spain of 1 million. The most straightforward and quick way to invest is the bank deposit in a Spanish bank account of 1 million. Here is necessary to take in consideration that it is only possible to be a one investor. So if you want to invest with your spouse, it's not possible to have a shared Spanish account. It is necessary to open the banking account in Spain for only one owner, and you may apply within 1 year after doing this investment. Another interesting investment way is the business project. It is the most tricky one because it doesn't have exhaustive requirements. There are some that you can see here in the screen. It is necessary to create a project. Within this project, it is necessary to create the job position, to prove the relevant impact on Spanish economy, and the most important one, it must be scientific or innovation. How do we know if it is innovative for Spain or it is relevant for economy? It will be decided by the competent authorities. So that is why I say it is unpredictable. The outcome is rather unpredictable. So it's each application is evaluated individually, and the business plan should explain exhaustively how we can invest in Spain, how it must be interesting to Spanish economy. Previously to the submission of this application, it is necessary to prepare the business plan, which must be approved by the Spanish Minister of Commerce, which will take from 1 or 2 months. And only once we got this approval, we may submit the application to the large office unit. The most popular investment way is the real estate investment. It is necessary to invest 500,000 into the property without any mortgages, charges, or loans. And it is also necessary to take in consideration the marital regime if there are other spouses investing. If, for example, there is the joint asset marital regime, it is sufficient with only minimum 500,000 euros. But if you are married in the separation of property regime, it is necessary to take in consideration that if you invest only 500,000, you will not be eligible, because it will be supposed that each of you only investment 250,000. So the minimum should be for both of 1 million. If it is the joint assets, one of you will be the main applicant, another one will be a family member. All the properties bought before the enforcement of the law, before September 2013, will be eligible to be used for this application. It is very important to take in consideration that if you will be purchasing the property now, you only may file the application once this property is registered in the Spanish property register, which may take up to 1 or 2 months. So take this in consideration when planning from the beginning this kind of investment. So there are 2 ways to apply for the residence permit or visa that you may choose. You may start the process from your country of origin or legal residency through Spanish consulate. In this way, you will submit your application to the consulate directly, and the consulate will consider about your application within 10 working days since the day of submission, and you will be granted the visa that will be introduced in your passport. This visa has the validity of 1 year, and itself a sufficient title both to reside and to work. But you may also use this visa to apply directly for the residency permit after you got the visa. And it is also not necessary in this way to come to Spain. For example, we may handle your application, submitting it through the electronic register. And once the application is approved, you may come to Spain, where we organize the fingerprints part in the National Police Office, when then you collect the card after approximately 30-40 days after the fingerprint date. Another way of submission that you can choose is to apply directly for the residency authorization from Spain. It will be necessary that when we already prepared the file, that you entered Spain and your legal stay in Spain, for example, by your stamp in the passport or by the declaration of entrance. We file the application directly to the larger office unit, and the application or resolution timeline will be of maximum 20 working days. Once the application is approved, then we schedule an appointment in the National Police Office, and you put the fingerprints and collect your card as well after 30-40 days after the fingerprints. The initial residence permit that we apply from Spain will be granted for 3 years and can be renewable for 5 years each time when you maintain your investment. What are the pending changes we are supposed to receive further, which is a very popular topic, highly spoken for now, because as we all know, Spanish Golden Visa program is about to be eliminated. So what should we know about these upcoming changes? For now, it is supposed that the government wants to eliminate all the ways of investment, because before it was supposed that only the real property and the funds investment will be eliminated, but then there was the addendum to the project where it is supposed that we will eliminate all the ways of investment and access to the golden visa. So it will be necessary to consider if you would like to still take an advantage of the process to build this right strategy for this. So what are the upcoming changes? What will happen then? All the application that will be submitted before this change will continue in process. All the current residence permit granted on the basis of the investment will be renewable. It will be possible to renew them, so you will not lose those that you already have. When we submit, when we're supposed to have these changes, there is no specific date, but we know that the project is already submitted to the Congress, and depends a lot on the Congress schedule, and we expect that this may happen in December 2024 or in January 2025. So we recommend to hurry up if you would like to still take an advantage of the golden visa process and obtain the residence permit based on the investment. So what could be the alternatives if somehow we are not in time to submit our application, we didn't complete the real estate purchase process or whatever? So what can we consider replacing the golden visa? There are some different ways of obtaining the residency permit. Here we will have to take in consideration what are our plans in Spain, what are we going to do or not to do in Spain to choose the best path of residency permit obtention. So what are our alternatives? The first one is the non-lucrative residence permit. Also a very straightforward process, but it's necessary to take in consideration that you will not be allowed to work neither in Spain nor remotely from Spain. So if you are a remote worker, this visa will not be for you. This visa is most convenient for those who have the sufficient economical means not to work during the residency time, or the pensionists who already are retired and obviously do not work and have the passive income. If you still need to telework, there is the new way to obtain the residency permit with the digital nomad visa. The requirements are also straightforward. So there are two ways of being eligible for this kind of visa. The first one, you are the employee of a foreign non-Spanish company and can work completely online using the internet, or you are the self-employed providing the services to a foreign company, also 100% remotely, and this company agrees that you will provide these services by this way. If you have a Spanish job offer, for example, for highly qualified professionals, you will be eligible to apply for the working residency permit based on this job offer. It will be necessary to take in consideration the salary and education rate. So you will have to have the higher education degree and the minimum salary of 41,000 euros if you are the senior professional, 56,000 euros if you are the directive, and if you are minor than 30 of age, so you will be eligible with the salary of 31,000 euros per year. Also, if you are working in the group of company which has one of the companies in Spain, you may be temporarily transferred from your country of origin company to Spanish company with the intra-company transfer residence permit. So these are the basic alternatives that we may have if the golden visa is eliminated. And there are much more residence permits as the options, but these ones are like the most convenient one to proceed with. So I will give the step to my colleague Julius Josephs. He will explain you, who is the currency dealer, he will explain you the most convenient tools of the currency transfers internationally. We'll explain you also how to do it the most efficient way and to avoid the fraud. So Lewis, I give you the step.
Absolutely. Thanks for going through everything there, Olga. That was really helpful. And thanks everyone listening in today. So my name's Lewis, work for a company called Worldwide Currencies. We've been working with Atlanta for the past 6 months, helping their clients move funds overseas when dealing with the Golden Visa program, primarily is where we've seen a lot of traction, especially for people that are looking for residency in Spain. Just a little overview on Worldwide Currencies. We are a foreign exchange and international payments services business. We offer a wide range of solutions to individuals, businesses, financial institutions. We've been operating since 2006 for the past 18 years. Our annual basis, we're facilitating over $1 billion in payments. So what that enables us to do is essentially cut costs for our clients because we're buying in wholesale from our bank, being Barclays. There's a number of currencies that we deal in, more than 50 currencies, and we can pay out to over 200 countries globally. Of course, we have a direct commitment to delivering exceptional service, transparency, and competitive rates. And we really feel that we've established ourselves as a trusted partner, especially in a complex world of currency exchange in itself. We'll go on to the next part here, just so I can break down a little bit more in terms of the business and give an overview of what we do. There's 5 core components that we deal with. First, of course, being the currency exchange, offering competitive exchange rates in over 100 currencies and ensuring clients receive the best value for their money. Second, being international payments, facilitating fast, secure, and cost-effective international transfers for personal and business needs as well. Third, being primarily one of the most important parts, which is managing the currency risk and providing strategies to manage and mitigate currency risk, including forward contracts and market orders. Fourth, being market analysis, delivering up-to-date market insights, trends, forecasts to help clients make informed decisions. And the fifth being the personalized support, which is really what we focus on, and having a dedicated currency trader, i.e. myself, who will help tailor advice and support to ensure transactions are smooth. And I'll move on to the first point as we go across, which will be the registration process, which as a business, this is something that we've really refined. As we know in this day and age, even opening a bank account can sometimes take weeks or months. So we've actually managed to get this down to a 24-hour activation period. So for clients that are based in the UK, they will go through what we call a smart check. So all they need to provide is passport or driver's license details, also their residential address. If we receive a green tick from our smart verification technology, that is the only information we will need to activate that client. If they're based outside of the UK, we will just require a hard copy passport and also proof of address dated in the last 3 months. The registration process in itself is very simple. It will all be done online through our online link. To register the account. Once you've filled out all of your details and your account's been activated, you will be assigned to a currency trader. It will most likely be myself that the clients will be assigned to. We will then talk through the process of the amount of currency you're looking to exchange, the time frames you're looking to exchange to, also where you're looking to pay to, potentially who the monies are looking to be received from, and then we will go through in terms of securing the rate of exchange. And then the third part would be the payment. And essentially, we can facilitate same-day currency payments for all clients with major currencies, i.e. US dollars, sterling, and euros. So the registration process, again, is very simple for the client. And we'll go on to the next part. Dedicated trader allocation. This part to me is really where we come into the business. And of course, as we know, in a day and age with technology taking over, a lack of customer support is becoming overwhelmingly more common. We understand there's no one size fits all approach when helping our clients facilitate their FX requirements. There's something that we really pride ourselves on is to ensure that every client does receive a tailor-made service. We want to ensure their risk appetite is taken into consideration and also their objectives are taken into consideration as well to ensure that the client's being catered for from start to finish. Of course, it's really, in my opinion, what sets us apart from traditional banks, other brokers, and especially those who need full support. Not every client is going to be savvy. There are some people that do need help in hand, and they do need some more guidance in that respect. And that is really what we're here to do. And over the years, we have felt many clients have felt neglected and they haven't been given the full attention and guidance that they really need when we're making these overseas transfers. So you will be given a seasoned professional, i.e. myself or another member of staff here. Combined, we've got over 150 years experience within the financial services sector. So the clients will be well looked after in that respect. If there's any other questions, we can move on. What moves the currency markets? Now, of course, this is a really key point, especially when we're dealing with clients, individuals that are primarily involved, as we mentioned, with the Golden Visa program. These are a number of points that we look for in terms of what moves the market: inflation and interest rates, monetary policy and fiscal policy, political and geopolitical events, macroeconomic data releases, change in risk sentiment and consumer confidence, and commodities, i.e. oil and gold prices. As we know, exchange rates change every day. They are widely influenced by global events and forever changing financial market conditions. Now, by using someone like our business, we'll help you navigate, forecast, and minimize your currency exposure to achieve your personal objectives. And in the next slide, we'll show you how the hedging tools are available to our clients who aim to offset their risk and also take advantage of the price shifts as well. So, tools available to our clients. These are the four main tools that will be at our disposal. The first is a spot transfer. This is one that many people will be familiar with. If you're going abroad or going on holiday and you go to your local exchange bureau, that is usually your typical spot transaction. You're settling and taking delivery of the currency on the same day. Now, a spot transfer can be the same day, the next day, or T+2 settlement. The second is, in my opinion, probably the most important, especially for clients that are going to be involved with the Golden Visa process, because the start to finish can take a few months. And within that few months duration, the client does need to take into consideration the fluctuations of the exchange rate. So a forward contract is a hedging tool that enables the client to lock in the rate of exchange for up to 2 years. The forward contract will allow clients to take advantage of the rates, mitigate risks of forecasted price fluctuations. Your trade will guarantee the rate of exchange for the length of the contract and is secureable with a small 10% deposit value. So to summarize the forward contract, it's a great tool to provide clients with price certainty, risk mitigation, and it's also flexible for cash flow. So if the client knows in 3 months' time, i.e. the minimum investment of 500,000 euros, we have to take into consideration for the next 3 months, there can be a huge fluctuation in the exchange rate. So the client can, for example, lock in €500,000 today at today's rate, and the settlement and delivery will take place at the end of the contract. But what that will do is guarantee the rate of exchange, and the client knows exactly how much they need to pay and the date they need to pay it. Of course, dealing with the process of buying a property can be stressful enough, and this will alleviate a lot of that stress for the client, knowing how much they need to pay via the forward contract. Second part is the market watch. Market alerts operate in a similar fashion to the next point, which will be the stop and limit orders. However, they simply require no obligation to trade. So a client can place a market alert on a specific exchange rate with or without expiry. So, for example, if the rate of exchange today may not be favorable for the client, but they do have a specific target rate they're looking for, we can essentially place an alert in that will notify the client once that price becomes available, but there's no obligation to trade, but it's ensuring that we're keeping on top of the market for them. The fourth part is the limit order, which is a tool used by clients who are looking to achieve a target price above the current spot price. The stop order is placed to minimize losses on the client's worst case rate. They work in conjunction with each other. Similar point to the market watch. If a client does have a target exchange rate, we can place in a market order for them. So, for example, if the rate of exchange today is 120 and the client's looking to buy at 121, we can place a firm order into the market to buy, say, €500,000 at 121, and that exchange will lock in for the client and alleviate any further risk for the client. And the stop loss works in an opposite fashion. If the market continues to move away from the client, we can essentially place a stop loss to alleviate any further losses to the client as well, in retrospect. So the firm order is an agreement to buy or sell currency at an amount of the target exchange rate, and the order can remain in the market indefinitely or capped by expiry. And firm orders are good till cancel, meaning the order will remain live until triggered or cancel upon instruction. We'll go to the next part. Security. This is a big part in our industry, ensuring their clients feel confident and comfortable with their intermediary broker, i.e. ourselves, for example. So we have segregated client accounts. This is very key. So all client funds are kept in secured segregated funds, separate from worldwide currency company accounts. So God forbid anything was to happen to our business, your funds will be secured as a client. We are, of course, FCA regulated. So Worldwide Currencies are regulated by the FCA as a payment service provider and adhere to maintain a defined level of capital at all times. Security of funds, we do have insurances in place. So Worldwide Currencies have up to £5 million cover for direct financial loss, civil liability, and directors and officers liability insurance with Liberty International underwriters. We have online security. So Worldwide Currencies uses VeriSign service. Your private information is secured using SSL encryption before transmission. And lastly, data protection, which is also very key. Worldwide Currencies operate under the General Data Protection Act, GDPR, and hold any personal data in accordance with the principles of that act. Personal data should be obtained for specified and lawful purposes only. And I think it's very important for clients to understand when they are dealing with a broker, intermediary that is sometimes handing in a large amount of capital, to ensure they have the correct regulations and licenses in place, which we do. And after this, if anyone needs any more information, I'm more than happy to provide the links. Why choose Worldwide Currencies? Simple account opening process with competitive 24-hour activation timeframe, as previously explained. We have zero setup fees, zero management fees, and zero transfer fees. We have speedy transfer and same-day delivery on all major currencies. Extremely competitive exchange rates. We have access to currency hedging tools, i.e. the forward contracts and market orders. And all clients are provided with a dedicated currency trader to facilitate a tailor-made service. And lastly, clients also will have access to our cutting-edge online platform to make transfers under their own discretion, so they can trade directly through myself on the trading desk, and they'll also have access to our online app where they can trade on their own as well. So it's good they've got the best of both worlds in that respect. Frequently asked questions. This is a big one that we're asked often. How does Worldwide Currencies make their money? So we make our money between the interbank exchange rate and the exchange rate that we offer the client. So as mentioned in the first slide, we trade over $1 billion a year through our liquidity provider being Barclays Bank. Of course, due to the volume that we trade in, we have access to wholesale prices, which enables us to cut costs. We make a margin in between the interbank rate and the rate of exchange that we offer the client. But we have no fees and we have no exchange fees in that respect. So we only make our money through the margin of the client. That is it. How do I secure a currency trade? As mentioned, you can secure a currency trade over the phone, over email, or you will have access to the online platform where you can trade upon your own discretion. Do you accept transfers is a big one that we're often asked, especially when dealing with property. Absolutely, we deal with test transfers. If anything, it's something we encourage. We always like to make sure that monies land safely. And if we're paying to a solicitor or a lawyer or a notary, we want to ensure that their monies are received safely first before initiating the last transfer. Can you send money or receive money from a legal representative? Absolutely. Absolutely, we can. Of course, from a compliance and regulatory perspective, we do require certain information intact, i.e. a property purchase agreement, and potentially source of funds too. And then we are more than happy to accept monies from a third-party representative. And lastly, which is one we're often asked as well, which is, can you refer a client to Worldwide Currencies? Of course, you can refer clients, be it private, corporate, or institutional. And then we do have a set commission in place for anyone that does feel confident enough to introduce business to us as a company. This is some of our Trustpilot reviews here. We've got over 2,700 reviews. We've been going for the last 18 years. So
we seem to lose the connection with Lewis. He already told us everything, I hope. We will try to reconnect him. Meanwhile, we will review several questions that we have received from you during the webinar about the Golden Visa. So there are some of them. What happens if the investment criteria changes after I've already started the application process? Here we have to distinguish what do we mean by starting the application process, because before we file the application to the competent authority, there is the time that we use to prepare depending on the investment way that we are choosing. So if the changes occurred when we, for example, are in the process of the purchasing or the investment to the banking account of the funds, here there is probably a risk that if we didn't get to file the application till these changes came, so then we will have to review the different other ways of obtention of the residence permit that we have reviewed previously. But if we have already filed the application to the competent authority, this means that you don't have to worry, that the changes should not affect you and the application should be completed or resolved as it was before when the changes came into force. The next question is a rather popular one as well, asked by our clients. Is there a path to a citizenship through the Golden Visa program, and how long does it take? Sure, you can consider the obtention of the citizenship after the residency. It is necessary also to distinguish the residency and then the way of obtention of the citizenship, because as we previously discussed, you are not obliged to reside in Spain. Effectively, if you don't want to, you may come only once per year or the time that is convenient for you to spend in Spain. But if you would like to consider filing the citizenship application, you have to take in mind that one of the requirements is to prove your effective residency in the case of nearly all non-European and non-Ibero-American countries of 10 years of residency. There are a lot of ways on how to prove it and to build correctly the strategy presenting the correct documentation of this proof. So it is something that Atlantor can help you with, looking through individually of each situation of each our client, and to build the best way on how to do your way to the citizenship more convenient and correct. Another question is, and that makes mostly concern of our clients, is can existing Golden Visa holders be affected by future changes to the program's rules or requirements? So we are frequently asked, will I lose my residence permit based on the investment? As we have a project now and as it is now, it is supposed that you will not lose your Golden Visa based on investment you have done before the changes. And you will be able to renew it always when you meet the requirements for the renewal. Let's say that you maintain the same investment, that you have sufficient economical means, you maintain your medical insurance during all the way of the residency, which is quite important, because a lot of the clients just cancel their insurance, and then it is very difficult to prove that they were covered during all the time of the residency. So let's say if you meet all these requirements, it is supposed you will have no problem with the further renewals if you need to maintain your residency permit based on the Golden Visa. So what be the next steps? How can we help you here in Atlantor? How can we help you to see if you are eligible and if you still have time to take an advantage of the program of the Golden Visa. We can search the best way of investment for you based on your preferences, based on your personal situation. We can help you to build correctly your paperwork, to prepare your file, to help you with the timeline of the submission, to help you to navigate within all the process till you have your residency card in hand, including if you will choose the way to proceed through the consulate. We also can help you remotely navigating through the process, contacting the consulate, scheduling all the necessary appointments for you, and accompanying you in all the journey to your residency permit. But as we told it, hurry up, we probably have 2 or 3 months till this program will be completed. See, we don't have Lewis with us. So, well, if you will have any other additional questions regarding the residency permit or the currency as well transfers, you may contact us directly, contact Lewis for the currency transfers tools, and contact us in Atlanta for the Golden Visa program questions, citizen questions based on the Golden Visa afterwards. We will be glad to help you with this and to resolve all your doubts and to help you to navigate through the process till it is successful. Thank you so much, everyone, and we are looking forward to continue in contact with you by the email or by the phone calls.